The NBA All-Star Game snubs. Who exactly do we believe got the complete axe for the 67th All-Star Game? Myself and Denise Jones are now going to weigh in. So Andre Drummond weighed in with his Twitter account. Guess I got to start doing backflips after every point I score to get attention around here. Laughing my ass off. On to the next. I'm pretty sure he averages 14 points per game, so that would be 28 backflips.
Right.
Lou Williams very simply just said LOL. Now I'm going to make the case for Lou Williams. All right. So Lou Williams has been a stud. The guy who I think should be excluded was who you're going to see right here. It is Klay Thompson. 20 points per game, less than 3 assists per game, 4 rebounds per game. His player efficiency rating is 16.64. Wrong. So Lou Williams, what is his, Denise? Well, you're going to see it. 23 points per game, 5 assists per game, almost 3 rebounds per game. Player efficiency rating way out the roof. Fourth quarter scoring. Who leads the Western Conference? Drum roll, please. Oh, it's that Lou Williams guy at 7.5 points per game. The biggest snub out of the Western Conference and why I think Klay Thompson should be out is for Lou Williams. He put up a 50 spot against the Golden State Warriors. The first time the Clippers have beaten Golden State since like 2014, I want to say. And there's no reason that the Clippers should ever beat the Golden State Warriors with the current roster that they have. So Lou Williams is my guy, biggest snub out of the Western Conference.
Those are the only snubs you have?
So no, biggest one.
Biggest one. Do you have any more snubs?
I do, but I want to hear yours.
My biggest, I mean, I wouldn't say biggest snub, but just based off of what Russell Westbrook said during a press conference. And,
yep, this is good.
And though, mind you, I understand what he's doing. So what he said, just to bring you guys up to speed, he said that Paul George's teammate should have made the All-Star list, should have been the All-Star roster, I'm sorry. He should have been on there, and he said he was throwing some shots too. He was saying, you know, I get some guys like complain and stuff, and you know, it's not fair that some guys complain and they make the team, and I thought that shot was like everybody else to Damian Lillard. Would you agree?
Do I think it was at Damian Lillard?
I think so.
Considering Russell is like all over the place, I don't know who it was.
Not to say Dame isn't a great, he's a phenomenal player and deserves that place. And he was snubbed for 2 years for Pete's sake.
Great point.
He deserves to be on that roster. But when Westbrook presented it, it was more so like, you know, he said that. And then he said, it's not fair that there's 4 players from a different team. We talked about that. We agreed.
Give me 3.
But that was, I feel that was a shot at KD because he doesn't, you know.
Yeah, but KD's more deserving than Dre and Klay.
I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying the arguments that Westbrook had a lot of shots and he had a lot of ammo coming his way. Do I think Paul George deserves to be on the roster? No.
You don't. It felt like you were just deciding right there.
That's what happens when you're on the West. Like everything is so much higher, and I feel like, not to say Paul George isn't a great player, he's just not necessarily up to par.
Well, let's think about this. Who would you kick out?
The biggest snub.
Who would you kick out if you had to put Paul George in there? I already said I would kick out Klay Thompson. So you would kick out Draymond Green for Paul George?
No, I would kick off Draymond Green for Lou Williams.
For Lou Williams.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. Lou Williams is the biggest snub.
Oh, okay. But
Paul George he's a great player, but based off of Russell Westbrook's argument, he wasn't. I don't know. But
like, okay, Lou Williams aside, let's say he's not the biggest snub. Just for this
between Paul
hypothetical,
George and
who would you kick out for your pick of Paul George if you had to?
The closest one would probably be the one that would make the most sense to me would be Draymond.
Draymond's watching this. He's like, fuck you.
Yeah, this girl doesn't know what she's talking about. It's not even that. It's not that I don't think he's a great player. I would just like to see somebody else other than you know, the 4 Warriors players. And I feel like,
I agree.
You know, Paul George, he's a great player. A lot of people, you know, there was a lot of doubt, especially after his injury, and he recovered and he's gotten a lot better. And even when he was in Indiana, he still wasn't, I wouldn't say the best player, but he did catch a lot of eyes and he had our attention, and now he's with Westbrook and they have a lot of great chemistry. So again, I understand what Westbrook's doing. He's trying to keep his teammates so he won't go God knows where. But even if he goes to the Lakers, for Pete's sakes, you might be in the same position, bro. Like, you might be in the same position just because that's the standard for the West.
Yeah.
It's so high, whether you go to the Lakers or not.
Yeah, I agree with you. Paul George, 21, 5 and 3, I believe, and he has 93 steals on the season. As good of a defensive player you could say as Draymond Green, though of course different positions. I know in the comments they're probably going to say, "What about LaMarcus Aldridge?" If LaMarcus Aldridge was not there, would the Spurs find a way? Yeah, because they're probably like the New England Patriots of the NBA, where even when they go down and even when players go down with injury, they still find a way to cultivate this franchise to a winning way. However, LaMarcus Aldridge is leading the San Antonio Spurs in points per game, rebounds per game, blocks per game, minutes per game.
Right.
I do not know where they would be without LaMarcus Aldridge, so I think that he has made a case for him to not be in the case of being substituted for a snub.
Right.
So there.
Do you think Ben Simmons is too young for a snub?
Ben Simmons, fringe. Lonzo Ball, under the fringe line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with them being. I mean, look at the rosters that we have. It's hard to.
I agree.
Okay, well, all right, real quick. That's a good point. The only guy that I would potentially take out for Ben Simmons. The only guy I could take out for Ben Simmons is.
That's hard.
It's nobody, but if I had to, gun to my head would be John Wall because he hasn't played a full season. But then again, Ben Simmons hasn't either, so it's hard. But no, I think the East is pretty solid. If there's one snub from the East, it would probably be Andre Drummond.
Yeah,
but I don't know who I'd take out. All right, thoughts, comment section below. Who's the biggest snub? Subscribe to TYT Sports.